I have a huge update to give to you guys. It's been 3 long years, and although during the Monster Up and Up Fest I got to move in, I almost want to call that Studio 0.5, and maybe now we're entering into Studio 1.0. I talk a lot to my podcast clients about how it's just important to start. Whether or not it's perfect or not, you just got to start. So that's what I'm going to do today in this vlog, is just show you guys a little bit about where I've started. The place is a little bit of a mess, but hey, I've moved in the majority of my equipment, and now's the fun part in, organizing it, utilizing it, probably rearranging the studio another 15 times. Studio C is a lot colder than Studio B. So there's a high likelihood that I will be moving into Studio B. But, for the time being, I'm here. I've, taken root in Studio C. So we'll enjoy it for a couple weeks. Wasn't the greatest lighting over there. But hey, that's the purpose of vlogs like this, to be able to distinguish what still needs to be done. As much as this is an update for you guys, this is also a resource for me to look back at, to see, where places are that I may be able to improve. And as you can see, we've got a couple different lighting effects behind us. Isn't the greatest way to check it out. Let me turn off the lights for you guys. Hopefully the phone will kind of pick it up, but yeah, we've got a couple LED rigs in the corners of the room. Let me go ahead, turn back on the lights. Looks pretty cool, right? Went ahead and also pulled some sound panels, looking good, as well as dropped some bread on some LED strips that you can see on the ground. This ceiling is just a little bit taller than Studio B, and I feel uncomfortable standing on a ladder for any period of time, especially alone. So I'm gonna hold off on putting the LEDs in Studio C. So as we walk into Studio B, nothing really has changed in here other than just the quantity of things. As you look over here on the workbench, you've got all kinds of wires, a total cluster of things that are gonna probably take me a few weeks to go through. I also need to purchase a couple organizers, which I believe would really help out, not make this happen again, because this is the second time that I've done it. That cords and cord management is a significant problem for sure. But as you can see right now, this is more or less like the band setup. I'm a drummer myself, so that's important. But Studio B just happens to be significantly warmer because, as you can see, the furnace is right in the kitchen. So obviously this area is gonna be a lot warmer. I gotta check the ducting out in Studio C. That I don't think it's perfect. We also went ahead, and if you can see, I'm gonna turn off the lights. I ended up installing some underglow lights. Let's get me off of it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Get a little look of them under there. So that's pretty dope. As well as behind here, let's unplug this. And I guess I unplugged it myself. All right, let's see here. Let's see if that plugs right in and works. Yes, it does. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the lights so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of stuff behind it and in front of it, so it really doesn't do justice, but you can kind of see the vision there behind everything, as well as the lighting under there. So let's turn back on the lights. Lighting's probably the most important thing with filmmaking. So let's go ahead and turn on the lights. As we walk into the office, this is a pretty historic moment, and I believe it's worth documenting. As you can see behind me, the office is clear. Going back into the office, so this is going to be a big moment. Obviously, as you can see behind me, there's still a lot of work to do, and I may need a week or so to recover. I've been pushing my body beyond the limit every night, or most nights over the past 2-3 months now. And I really want to get whatever contractors' tools, our tools, out of here. Obviously, some of them may be needed for different purposes, but I'd much rather be able to utilize this studio for meetings, have some giant whiteboards on the wall. That's what gets my socks off, and it's it's just really exciting for me to be able to get in the office. And you know, the biggest part about working in Studio C and in Studio B is there's no windows. And if you look back at our vlog update series, you'll see that I'm actually the one that suggested blocking it up, which we did. And in Studio B, we just ended up doing sand windows. So that'll be a little bit more easy to remove, and maybe that's Studio 3.0 in like 5 years, but we definitely need some windows in the place. The original vision of the studio as a green screen studio really doesn't work out anymore, because there's been 3 or 4 other studios pop up within the last 3 years that are significantly closer to the city. So for me, my bread and butter is podcast production. So whether or not that's, you know, me hiring editors, and if you're an editor, you know, definitely reach out if you're in the area. If you're a remote editor, you know, we could definitely chat as well. But I think I'm pivoting a little bit, just a little bit, because there's competition. So, you know, being 45 minutes outside of the city really isn't the greatest competitive advantage, although we do own the dirt, and you know, this is a big investment that at the end of the day, people aren't going to drive 45 minutes in the middle of nowhere. So I'm re-establishing and reprioritizing myself. I've also been dealing with a few different life changes, change of life event with family, so definitely keep me in your prayers. A lot of things are going to be changing around here, hopefully for the better, kind of put some fire under my butt, that, hey, you know, now is the time to go. So if you haven't yet, please follow, subscribe on YouTube, check out all my links in my description. If you're a creator, if you're a coach, and you're interested in having someone help you start your podcast or take your podcast to the next level, please reach out to me through the DM. I'm always interested in speaking with people and figuring out how you can be a part of this big picture. So if you don't already know, I'm Anthony Marshall Prugel, and as always, we'll see you.